Hi, Jacqueline and Olaf. Hi, nice to see you all the way from UK and Germany.
Hello.
Hi, so before we actually start the panel discussion, maybe we can let the both of you actually introduce yourselves first to the rest of the audience. So maybe we can start with you, Jacqueline.
Yes, hello, delighted to be here. My name's Jacqueline Day. I'm an international speaker and mindset expert and business coach and a #1 best-selling author.
Thank you. And how about you, Olaf?
Yes, hello. My name is Olaf. I'm from Germany. I'm since 2017 in the crypto market, and I'm here to share a little bit about what I learned in these years.
And thank you so much, Olaf. So maybe beginning with you, Jacqueline, I'm super curious when you said that you actually share more of the mistakes rather than the successes that actually entrepreneurs face. So can you actually tell us what are the biggest mistakes that most entrepreneurs do?
Yes, absolutely. I've been a business coach now for almost 16 years. And the biggest mistake I find most businesses make is they're wearing all the hats. So what do I mean by wearing all the hats? They're doing everything themselves. They're wearing the HR hat, the finance hat, the marketing hat, the sales hat, the production hat, the delivery hat. And what happens is, what that means is, they become the jack of all departments and the master of none. And that passion and the fire that they had for their business starts to burn out. And sadly, they too start to burn out because they're too caught up in their business. And it has that domino effect because there's a resistance by the business owner to let go and stop being the business operator and become the business leader that they need to be. And when they stop being the business operator and they become that business leader, they will then have the ability to scale their business. But operating the way they are at the moment, they don't have that ability to helicopter up and see what's really happening in their business and what works and what doesn't work. And they're simply just not in that position to scale their business. And they try to scale the existing model, which isn't scalable. And that will just add to the burden and the overload on their business. And their business then turns into a monster and a nightmare. So those are the common mistakes which I find business owners make.
I see. Thank you so much for sharing. And how can actually these businesses and entrepreneurs overcome this mistake that they're all making?
Right. The secret is they have to stop, first of all, stop being the business operator and become the business leader. And they need to have a business model that's scalable. So they need to be able to scale. And then they need to be ready to scale. So let me tell you the McDonald's story. Ray Kroc joined McDonald's in 1955. He saw a great potential. He proceeded to buy the business from the McDonald's brothers, and he had this vision to have the biggest restaurant chain in the world. Now, today, McDonald's serve more than 68 million people a day in over 100 countries, and they're the world's second biggest employer. So what's their secret? First of all, they're known for their burgers, and they're also known for their franchising. And every single franchisee knows that from day one, they have got a successful business. So why is this? It's because all the processes are well documented, and every new franchisee is trained and coached on those processes, and anybody can actually follow those processes. So why am I telling you this? I'm saying this because every business owner needs to get ready to scale by having the right processes in place, which can be duplicated and scaled, and so that anybody can follow them once they're trained and coached on them.
All right, cool. Wow, I love the word scaling because I think for every business to really do extremely well, number one, you have the system, and of course, when the system is there, you can scale. So I just want to check in with Olaf as well because I understand you have been an entrepreneur for over 25 years. Yeah, I know right now you're into crypto, but before we go into the crypto part, can you actually share with us a little bit in your entrepreneur journey about this thing scaling and some of the common mistakes like what Jacqueline has mentioned earlier on where you take on multiple hats? Does it apply to you back then when you were actually starting your own business?
100%. In my early life, I'm still a dentist, and I was living 12 years in Spain, 10 of them as a dentist, where I was also scaling. I opened a second practice right in the center of the city. And when we came back here to Germany, I did the same right here in Berlin. I'm also scaling up and have my second practice right in the center of the city. And with the time, you really learn that it is important that you don't forget the overview, that you're not only the one who is working, but that you're also the planner of everything. Yes, it's very important. It's basic.
All right, cool. I love the part where you mentioned that you're a dentist, so you do scale, but not in the way of scaling the business, but really to scale the teeth of your patient.
No, that's the nurse, yes.
All right, yeah. So I mean, maybe to continue to the crypto portion as well for Olaf. So you actually went from a dentist to your own business and subsequently to went into crypto. And I think right now you're very passionate into crypto. So maybe you can share with us a little bit more about the crypto space. And I think you also mentioned about saving money. You feel that putting your money in the bank is probably one of the worst decisions. Maybe you can elaborate more on that.
Exactly. So the problem is that governments are in control of money. That means that they, or better said, the central bank, print it freely out of thin air. And the money printing causes inflation. The results, prices are rising. Things become more expensive. Food, clothes, gas for your car, the rent of your home. And the longer you put your savings in cash, the more worthless your money becomes. So people need to wake up to this, while others working so hard and struggling to save what is the money they have, buying less, paying more. It's unfair because governments can print their own money to buy, but saving money in cash as a result is dangerous.
So if I do not put my money in the bank, so where do you suggest, where we can actually save our money in?
Yes, we were talking already about centralization. So find an investment instrument that is decentralized. What does that mean? Well, our fiat money, the US dollar, the euro, Singapore dollar is all centralized. That means governments and central banks control it, they print it, and they freeze your account if they want to. So you can do nothing against it. They are in control. On the other hand, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and many others are decentralized. They are not controlled by the government or central banks because all transactions run on a public blockchain. It is safe because the data is copied on thousands of computers all over the world, so nobody owns the blockchain. It's public. It's something that gives people back the control of their own hard-earned money, and something that cannot be reduced in value and destroyed, just like the Venezuelan dollar, for example. No one could have imagined that it would suddenly lose its value, and now it's being used like waste paper, blowing in the street. Yeah, if you saw that video. You can invest in property, yes, but you need time if you want to sell it. Or cryptocurrency. Market is open 24/7.
All right, cool. So I love the part where you mentioned, it's important for us to actually take control of our own hard-earned money. Now, the thing about crypto is that we understand the concept, we know how powerful decentralized can be, But I think one of the biggest concern that people have, especially with the crypto crash that happened last year, like what are some of the crypto that I can actually put into? Maybe you can share a little bit on that as well.
Yes, of course. For example, if you look at what project has been created behind that coin or token, and if it had a positive impact to the world. If you look at, similar to stocks, at the market cap, the coin market cap is the actual price multiplied by the existing coins. It shows the value of the coin and how big the demand of the coin is, and if many people have put money in it. For example, Bitcoin. The rising in value comes from the rise in demand. US dollar and other fiat money is printed more and more and loses, for that reason, value. People look for other, safer solutions. Demand goes down. So does the value. Bitcoin, in comparison, or to give an example, has a maximum supply of 21 million Bitcoin. There will never be more Bitcoin printed or produced. It is limited. It's called mining, and they are mined. I want to give the correct wording. So people start to put more money into Bitcoin. If the demand grows, price goes up. Last seen extremes, Nigeria, where it almost tripled. Or compare the US dollar versus the Venezuelan dollar that has lost completely its value. Nobody's interested in it. Bitcoin, high demand, limited amount.
For sharing. So now maybe we just go back to Jacqueline so that we can also engage you in it. So I also want to know, what are the key components of the 6 laws that you see entrepreneurs and businesses that they must have?
Yes, the 6 laws in the Business Mastery Escalator are the 6 laws to grow, scale, and thrive in any economy. Now, in an average lifetime, we'll probably go through at least 5 recessions. They come in cycles. And a lot of businesses wonder whether it's the right time to start a business or even start to scale their own business. But here's the thing, more than half of Fortune 500 companies were started in an economic crisis. So these 6 laws are the laws that businesses need to master in order to have a sustainable business, no matter what the economy is. And the first law is manifesting. And what do you want to actually manifest as a physical reality in your business? The second law is modeling, and it's creating value for the client and the business, and a return on investment for both the client and the business, and creating that business model that's ready to scale. And marketing, it's targeting the right audience at the right time while keeping ahead of the competition. And maximizing, that which gets measured will materialize and maximize into a greater reality. And then it's mapping. Every business needs to a bridge to get over that bridge, and you need a map in order to bridge that business gap that you've got in your business. And then it's maturing so that the behaviors and the traits work together vibrationally for the greater of the organization. So it's having clarity, finding out what the bottlenecks are, the chokeholds on the business, what's holding people back, having that scalable business model so that they can become ready to scale, mapping out the journey and developing an efficient, compelling marketing strategy. And they then become the leader, working strategically on the vision, on the goals, on the milestones, so that they're planning, leading and innovating and looking objectively on their business, so they now can helicopter up and see exactly what is working in their business.
This be actually part of your business mastery escalator, and also how can the audience actually gain access to this?
Right, yes. Today, I would love to invite the audience to my Business Mastery Escalator experience so that I can explain these 6 laws a little bit deeper. And I would encourage them to bring along a pen and paper to make copious notes, and they can access this through my Telegram account with my QR code. And I will let them know when the next Business Mastery Escalator experience will be taking place. And I'll be delighted to invite everybody along.
Awesome. Thank you, Jacqueline. So for everyone who's interested in gaining access to the Business Mastery Escalator, please actually scan the QR code, or even the link, the direct link is actually in the chat box.
All right, and I think now back to Olaf. I think there are quite a number of questions within the chat, asking about where can I find out more about Bitcoin, how do I know whether Bitcoin is 21 million, etc. So I think the best place to find out more is probably not here because we have limited time. All right, but probably if the audience would like to find out more, so Olaf, is there any place where they can actually reach out to you or find out more about crypto?
Exactly. So I would like all newbies and also already experienced people in cryptos to my Crypto Wealth weekend that's coming up. And they will learn how to spot opportunities in crypto, and you will learn what to buy, when to buy, how much to buy, and important, when to sell, because that is when you make money. If you want to learn more about my private Telegram group, please use the link that you can see here and be prepared for a big gift. I will see you there.
All right, once again, thank you so much, Olaf and Jacqueline Day, for joining us all the way from UK as well as Germany. So I think from this session, we have learned a lot. When it comes to business, we have the 6 laws that you guys need to remember. And when it comes to saving money, okay, maybe in the bank, not the best place. And crypto is potentially one of the places that we can look into. But I think very important, let's get the knowledge up by learning from Olaf first. Once again, thank you so much, Jacqueline Day and Olaf, for joining us for this panelist session.
Thank you.
All right, and up next, okay, we have upcoming speakers who will be coming up to share with us even more as well. So before we release who is coming up next, let's take a short break before we invite our next speaker up to the stage.